Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and of course welcome back to our Complete Harp Beginner series. I am so excited about jumping into the lesson with you today because in this series we have learned the parts of the harp, how to tune our harp, name the strings, how to number our fingers, our sitting position, how to pluck with our fingers, how to place on the strings, how to pluck with our fingers, how to bend our thumb. And now, after all of these things are come together, we are ready to play a tune together. So in today's lesson, we are going to be learning our first tune. And you do have sheet music for this tune. I'd recommend that you download the sheet music whether you're used to reading music or not, because there's some really useful information in that sheet music. So to download the sheet music, all you need to do is click the link in the description of this video, and that will take you to a little page where you can download the sheet for today. Now, you will also download the sheet for our next tune. So we're learning 2 tunes in this series, and just so you've only got one download, you're downloading both of those tunes in the one click with the one download. So just to be really clear, in today's session, we're going to be looking at the tune called First Steps. This is our first tune. I've composed it especially for you, and it purposefully uses certain shapes on the harp, which are really great for someone just starting out. So click on the link below, download the tunes for this series, and get ready with your PDF First Steps, and we can get going. Okay, so before we move to our harp and start learning the tune together, I want to point out some little bits of information that the sheet music gives us to help us get ready for making the best sound that we can playing this tune. So the first thing is that at the start of any piece of music, you have what's called a key signature. Now, we did talk about sharps and flats earlier in this series, so you can go back and have a look. If you're not sure what I mean by sharps or flats, you can click on this little information above me and that'll take you back to remind you if you did watch it, or if you didn't watch it, you can have a look at it. But at the start of a piece of music, you will see sharps and flats, which tell you the key signature for the piece. And that means what scale you are using to play the piece, or what levers or pedals you need to play the piece. Now in this piece at the start, we don't have any sharps or flats, and that tells us that we are playing in C major. So looking at the start of our piece of sheet music, we know that we need our harps in C major. So if you're already tuned in C major, you are ready to go. If, like me, you're playing a lever harp and you're tuned into E flat major, then you're going to have to engage your E, A and B levers to get you into C major. And if you're on a pedal harp, you're going to have to put all your pedals into the natural position, ready for playing in C major. Now, the next bit of information that this sheet music tells us is the range that we need for playing this piece. Now, I have purposely composed a piece that has a small range, so anyone out there who's playing on a lap harp or a harp that maybe has 22 strings, it's smaller, I've made sure that we don't have a huge range, so it's nice and accessible to everyone. So the sheet music is written with the range of middle C, which is just here on my 34 string harp, middle C, my red string, up to the G string past the next C. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 strings to be able to play this whole tune. I need a range of 12 strings from C past the next C and to the G. Okay, and that range is for you at the start of the sheet music, so you know what you need to be playing. Now, in harp sheet music, we often have the fingering written in. So in this piece of sheet music, you will see some numbers written above or below the notes in our music. And this is telling us what fingers to use to play our tune. And the other thing you'll see along with the numbers, and is very common in harp music, is brackets, these square brackets that are kind of enclosing the numbers. Now these brackets tell you what fingers to place. When you see a bracket over 2 or 3 or 4 fingers, it's telling you to place all of those fingers on the strings before you pluck anything. So we really want to get our placing really good. This will help us play lovely and smooth, and I'll be running over that as we learn the tune together. But those brackets, they're telling you what shapes to place before you pluck a note. So you want to make sure the fingers that are in those brackets are all placed. Now the last thing this piece of sheet music tells us, and not all harp music is written like this, so this is specific to this piece, but you might find it in other pieces too, and that is that the stems of our notes, so our notes are made up of the little note head, the little dot, and then the stem which comes out of the note head. In this piece, if they're going up, it's telling you to play with your right hand. And if the stem is going down, it's telling you to play with your left hand. So you'll notice that this piece of music only has one line, but both hands are playing from that one line. When the stem goes up, you're playing with your right, and when the stem goes down, you're playing with your left. Now this isn't true for all harp music. It is quite common, you will see it in other pieces, but just watch out. And of course, these directions are written for you at the bottom of the PDF, just to make it really nice and clear. And so, with that, we're ready to get on to playing. Alright guys, so before we start playing our harps, I'm just going to play you the whole piece so you guys can have a listen to what we're going to be learning and how First Steps sounds. Okay, and there you have it. So let's get going and learn our first tune. Let's check our body positions. Feet flat on the floor. You can feel the seat bones. Your knees are lower than your hips. You're sitting up nice and straight, but your shoulders are relaxed and everything is feeling relaxed. We have a nice gentle bend in our elbows as we bring both of our hands to the strings. We're going to be learning both hands for this whole tune. And remember, as we come to place our fingers on those strings, our fingers are going to fall gently down the strings and our thumbs are going to point up. And as we pluck, we're going to pull our fingers into the base of our palm and our thumbs are going to bend over, bending for 2 joints, making a fist, which then relaxes. All right, let's take a closer look and start learning this tune. So we're going to go over our shapes that we're placing here, and we're going to use our coloured strings to help us. So I want you to find the black string, which is 2 above middle C, 2 above this red. So there's the first black and there's the second. I'm going to take my thumb and 2 in my right hand and place them around that black string. I call this a black sandwich because it's like there's the black string and I'm getting the bread, the pieces of bread on either side. So my thumb is just above the black and my 2 is just below the black. You can see my black string is a little bit worn from all the plucking, but you can still see that it's black. Now this means that my thumb is on the G and my 2 is on the E, but I like to use that colour to help me find the shape. Now in my left hand, I'm going to get exactly the same on the black string below. My 1 and 2 making this black sandwich, but I'm also going to add my 3 onto the red string. So in my left hand, I have round black red, or G-E-C. And this shape is known as a triad. 3 notes known as a triad. So in my right hand, a black sandwich. or around the black. In my left hand, a black sandwich and red, or round, black, red. The notes in my right hand, thumb on G, 2 on E, and in my left hand, thumb on G, 2 on E, and 3 on C, which is our red. And all we're going to do is pluck down these strings, bending our thumb to touch that fleshy area on our finger too, and pulling our fingers into our palm. Bend, pull, relax the fist, bend, pull, pull, and relax everything. Let's try and find that shape again. And remember, these fingers are in brackets in our sheet music, so we want everything placed before we pluck. Try it with me. Ready, go. Thumb, 2, left hand, thumb, 2, 3, and make sure your hands relax. Beautiful. One last time, find those shapes. Ready, go. Beautiful. Now for our next notes, we're just going to be using our index fingers, just our pointy fingers, finger twos. Our right hand is going to find the red string above middle C, the one above we just played. And then we're going to have a black in the left and a black in the right. Okay, so we went to the red string in the right, that's the C. And then we had a black in the left, the F, and a black in the right. Good, and then to finish this whole line, we're going to go to the red strings, a red in the left and a red in the right. So all of those were played with our finger twos. We had a red in the right, black to black, and then red to red. And you're a quarter of the way through already. That's all of line 1. So we'll find our shapes. Remember, we've got our black sandwiches, and then the left hand adds that red. We're going to go down these shapes. We're going to find the red in the right hand. Then we're going to find our blacks, left, right, and then we're going to find our reds, left, right. Very good. Let's try all that again. The shapes. I'll shout out the letter names this time. Ready, go. G, E, G, E, C, C, F to F, and then C to C. One more time. Ready, go. Round, black, round, black, red to red, black to black, and red to red. Lovely, good. Now the next line is almost exactly the same. We start with the same shapes placed, so still our black sandwiches and our cheeky little extra red in the left. Again, we're going to come down these shapes, bending our thumbs, pulling our fingers in. Again, we're going to find a red with the right, but this time, instead of going to the 2 blacks, we're going to go to the 2 G's. Now that's just above the black. G, G, and we're going to finish on a single red. So that's a little different ending. G to G, and then red. So the whole second line is our shapes going down. Red to red. Above the blacks, that's your G to your G, and finishing on your red. Good, let's try that once more. Ready, go. Good job. Find the red and the right. Above the blacks, it's your G's. And finish on the red. Lovely. Now let's try the whole tune. So remember the first time we had the reds and then the blacks and then the reds. The second time we've got the shapes again, we've got the reds and then the G's and the red. Here we go. Ready, round the blacks at the ready, ready, go. Bending the thumbs, pulling the fingers in, find the red string in the right, find your 2 black strings, black, black, find your 2 red strings. Good, back to the start with your shapes. Round, black, round, black, red, to the red. Above the blacks, this is your G's. And finish on red. Good, let's zoom out. We'll try that once more together. So the whole first half, first 2 lines. Here we go. 1 and 2. Red to the red. Black to the black. Red to the red. Shapes again. Round, black, red to the red, above the black, and finish on the red. Lovely, that's excellent work. Okay, let's have a go. Someone's cutting their grass. Let's have a little go at the second part. Now, the great news about this is it's actually exactly the same. The shapes that you're placing are the same. We're just playing the notes in the shapes in a different order. So last time we placed all of our shapes and we came all the way down these shapes. This time, we're actually only going to place the 2 fingers. And we're going to place 2, 1, 2, and then you're going to get your red. Now in the left hand, you can place all 3 fingers if you want to start with that triad and play the 2 and then the thumb and then the 3. It's just a little more tricky to isolate a finger if it's in the middle of a shape. You can do it and it's great practice. But similarly, you can place the 2 fingers and once you've plucked that finger 2, you can get your 3 on the red string. And that makes it just a little bit easier. So instead of just coming down the shapes, we're playing round the blacks with 2, 1, 2, 1, and then we've got our 2 reds just like before, our 2 blacks just like before, and our 2 reds just like before. So the only difference is the way we play those shapes. Let's try that. Ready, go. 2, 1, 2, 1, and then the red to the red, the 2 blacks, and then the 2 reds. Beautiful. And then the next line's the same. We're going to play our shapes up the way. 2, 1, 2, 1, red to the red, and then above the black, a G to a G, and finishing on the red. Beautiful. Let's try that whole last line then. Here we go. Ready, go. Find the red strings, left on red to right on red. Find the black strings. That's the F's. Find the red strings, that's the C's. Good, find your black sandwiches. 2, 1, 2, 1. Red to the red, which is your C's. Above the blacks, which is your G's. Finish on your red, your C. Lovely! Are you guys ready to try the whole song with me? Okay. Remember, the first time in our shapes, we're just going down. Thumbs coming first. Then we've got all of our colours. The same shapes again, going down. Red, G, red. Then we repeat the whole thing, but this time our shapes are in a different order. 2, 1, 2, 1. All the colours, reds, blacks, reds. Shapes again, 2, 1, 2, 1. The reds. And then above the blacks, the G's. Finish on red. And that's the whole thing. Let's give it a go. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and the red to the red. Find the blacks. Black and black. Back to red and red. Find your shapes again. Round the black. Round the black. Red to the red. Above the black, that's your G's. Finish on red. Same shapes, round the blacks, play it differently. 2, 1, 2, 1. Red to the red. Black to the black. And red to the red. Find the black sandwiches again. 2, 1, 2, 1. Red to the red. G's, they're above the blacks. Very good. Okay, let's play it once more together, and this time I'm not going to talk. 1 and 2 and. Yeah, really good job, everybody. Well done. And you've learnt your first tune, First Steps. Well, thank you so much for coming here and learning that tune with me. I really hope you enjoyed it. And of course, remembered always to pull those fingers into those palms, bend those thumbs over and relax your fists. Every time, relax the hands. So let us know how you're getting on. Please do comment below. Let us know if you're playing the tune, how you're enjoying it. Are you playing it on a smaller harp? Are you playing it on a bigger harp? Let us know how you got on with your first tune. And remember, of course, if you didn't hear at the start of the video, then you can use the link below to get the sheet music for this tune. And in our next session, we are going to be looking at troubleshooting. So we're just going to spend a little bit of time going through some of the things that you might find are cropping up in your playing, doing a little bit of troubleshooting with you to make sure we can get everything smoothed out for you. And so I look forward to seeing you for our troubleshooting session in our next lesson.